Hi, greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of Not a Linux Guru Guy. So, yeah, we're going to take this is going to be a hopefully quickie presentation. I just want to explain a couple of things to you about what happened with my peppermint install, or attempted peppermint install, I guess I should say. So let's hold on now after intro, and this intro we'll head into it. Well, that was cool. Now, what happened is that, well, first, before I get into that, the explanation about peppermint install, I wanted to touch on one little slight issue, since I haven't explained it yet, and some people are new to this channel and new to me. I wonder, kind of talk a bit weird, don't you? Plus, I'm being from Texas and having a Texas accent. Originally, I am in Denver, Colorado, but I was originally Texan through and through. So, yeah, I got a bit of a Texas accent, I guess. But there's two other reasons I talk a little bit weird. One is I've got dentures, so that makes me talk a little strangely at times. Also, the biggest reason that I talk a little bit weird, and I have this cranked up kind of high on the gain so you can hear me better, is that I have Parkinson's. And I have DBS, so I'm pretty steady. I don't shake a lot, but yeah. So, but anyway, Parkinson's is known for affecting the voice. Sometimes it's worse than other times. And today it seemed to be pretty decent voice. But yeah, that's why I sometimes, that's the biggest reason I sometimes sound a little bit strange and weird, is because of that. So I just want to get that out of the way so you know what's going on and don't have to worry about what's he doing there, why can't he speak up better, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. So, what happened with peppermint install? I like I said last time when I was doing my peppermint video review, I was really tempted to install it. Mainly, I was really interested in the cloud-based action where you can plug in there's an ICE program they have on there that allows you to plug in, as I demonstrated. Go back and watch the video if you haven't seen it, where I demonstrated that you can plug in website information and import it right into your menu, so it's like an app. So you can do all sorts of web apps. You can put blogs on there. You can put whatever right in the menu of your system. That's pretty cool, I thought. I kind of wanted to do that. Plus, the whole concept of peppermint layout and everything looked good. Seemed to be a solid system, and I wanted to try it as my daily driver, so I decided to do that. So I did build my SBA, my flash drive, plugged it in, booted up on the live part. Everything ran perfectly, just like normal, like you'd expect. I said, okay, well, I guess I'll install a sucker. So I had my whole home directory backed up. I always do. I usually have a backup on my SD card, which you'll see that in a minute, I guess. Or I'll try to remember to remind me to remember to tell you about it, something like that. Anyway, yeah, so I was going to, I had backed up all that and all that stuff and things like that. And it really works cool, but what happened is that it went through the whole install process. It erased the hard drive, started to install the new system on it, and when it got toward the end, or about close to the end, not all the way, came up with this boot error, It was when I tried to install Grub, couldn't do it. Well, as you might know, Grub is a boot loading program. You have to have it to boot into your system, so it's kind of a big deal. No starter in that case. And I tried it several different ways, several different things, tried several different objects. Did a little search on the internet. Nothing really about it. So I figured, well, there's something about this SSD drive I have on my computer that it doesn't like, or some conflict there. But I couldn't have known that until I got that point. So I said, what do I do? I don't have a system on my computer. Well, as it turned out, I remember that old tech bloke guy over on another channel, which I watch pretty often. He recommends Debian. Vanilla or Debian, as he puts it. Vanilla Debian. He always adds R to every A. I think it's a British thing or something. I've heard some other British people do that, but anyway. Vanilla Debian. And so I downloaded the Vanilla Debian, and so I downloaded the Cinnamon one from the Calamaris. He's had a Calamaris installer, so a simple install. Installed it all on there. And no Wi-Fi. So I checked. They didn't even install drivers for Wi-Fi because they're not free apparently. You have to go get those, do this, that, and the other thing. I tried to find out, did a little internet searching. Finally, when it seemed like it was going to be more complicated than what I thought, this is crazy. I'm not going to go through all this. I don't have time for this. So guess what I did? I kind of compromised and installed Linux Mint Debian Edition as my daily driver. Yeah, it works pretty well. And the install process was easy, wasn't hard at all. And I have a Linux Mint Debian Edition, my daily driver now. I got Debian based. As you may know, as you may not know, I don't know what you know, but anyway, as you might know, that Linux Mint Standard is based on Ubuntu. Now they have Linux Mint Debian Edition, which is based on Debian instead, not on Ubuntu. And you still have a lot of Linux Mint repositories in there, so you have access to the same, pretty much the same software and everything that you have on Linux Mint and Ubuntu. But yeah, it worked pretty well. And I'll switch over to the desktop so you can see what it looks like. It'll look very familiar if you're familiar with Linux Mint at all. Yeah, you can see I have the logo here, Linux Mint. This is my SD drive. This isn't my main SD drive. I have two SD drives. This is a ScanDisk storage area. It's like one of the little memories. Got 32 gigs on it. And I back up my home directory to this drive. And I'll show you the program I do usually do that with. What you have here is just looks like your home directory, doesn't it? That's because I tried to make it to where you can just say, well, you want a file? You just go in here, pictures, go to picture, and copy and paste. Close that, or drag or drop, whatever you want to do. And it's all in this STD, so it's an exact duplicate of this, my home directory, almost exact. I exclude some files and stuff, as you'll see in a minute. And yeah, so I have it all backed up there. Now what I do is I have two programs I have here: copy home and restore home. Copy home right there, and what I do is use rsync. I have it go through each of the directories I want to back up, and I have certain files I exclude, so I have the exclude function there too. And yeah, so you see that I have that, and it backs everything up so it looks exactly like the home directory on my home directory. Except some, I only don't back up everything because, like for instance, I don't back up the public. Farther back, I don't have anything in there anyway. Public templates, don't back that one up. Don't back up any cache. That's why I back up specific directories on the backups I want to transfer over. The only thing that I back up there extra here, I back up my bash aliases, my bash RC file. So I can just transfer those over, boom. Which I did on here. Have all my functions and aliases that I've created automatically. I don't have to do anything special. I don't have to go in and re-enter them in and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. I back up those two things. And there you go. See here is Linux Mint Debian Edition. That's what DMD LMDE stands for. And it's they call this Debbie, but it's based on a Buster version of Debian. And yeah, and Cinnamon Desktop I got on it, of course. Yay! Yeah, I was kind of thinking also because Peppermint OS uses I think it uses LXDE if I remember correctly. Not QT, which I think maybe I might have said in the video originally. But yeah, LXDE. And so it's a low memory. In other words, this memory here will be like 400 and some megabytes, so 1,639 megabytes. But, you know, I have plenty of memory for that. And one of the things Linux Mint's good about is if you have less memory, it reduces the amount of memory here that it uses a shot. I don't know if it reduced all the way down to 400 some megabytes, maybe not, I don't know. But it's pretty scalable in the memory section, that part. Yeah, so I got a good system now. I'm happy with it. And I'm back to Linux Mint as my daily driver. Even though it's not standard, it's still Linux Mint, as you can probably tell. So yeah, you can use Linux Mint Debian Edition. The only question mark I have about it, I might have to reinstall regular Linux Mint or another distro or something like that later on, because it's based on Debian, and the whole point they say of it is to ensure that if Ubuntu ever goes down, that they'll be able to fall back on Debian. I don't really expect them to give up on Debian Edition that quickly or anytime in the near future, so I'm pretty sure it's going to stay here and I'll still be able to use Linux Mint Debian Edition. But there's a little question mark in my mind that eventually they'll say, well, Ubuntu's not going away either any more than Debian is, so they might just scrap this extra work to maintain the Debian. I don't know how much extra effort it is for them to maintain this, but yeah, that's my only question mark on that. So that is my that's my situation now. I had Linux Mint Ubuntu based as my daily driver before. Tried to install Peppermint, which failed on installing grub. Couldn't get it to install grub at all. So had to ditch that. Went to Debian, but I couldn't install Wi-Fi without a lot of tinkering, checking, all that kind of stuff. I finally said, I'm just going to install something else. So too much trouble. And so now I'm back to Linux Mint, even though it's a Debian edition, so I'm still using Debian. I got Linux Mint on here now. That's how I go sometimes. Sometimes I'm playing. I'm still tweaking and getting the thing the way it's mostly the way I want it now, but every once in a while I would come across a program like OBS. I had to reset all that up and set that up again. There you go. Well, until next time, may all your computers run Linux. Bye.